Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so Skip, Shannon, let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Guys, good morning.
Good morning.
So, LeBron James gets to play Sacramento for, I think, the 9th or 10th time this year. And, I think that the Lakers have scheduled Sacramento 20 times this year, proving once more that LeBron runs professional basketball. Way to go.
You had no problem with Sacramento beating them in triple overtime. You're like, oh, you got to beat Sacramento. Now they got to play them again.
Yeah, and I think Sac's going to win tonight.
Okay,
I got the Kings against the Kings.
Okay, we got to do?
Yep, but I get 3.
No.
By 3 at Sacramento.
Kings, I like
But you got to give me 3 against the Cowboys, too, so we could. Okay, perfect.
3 is done deal. We got all show. I will get back to it. I promise you that. Guys, I got to start with the latest surrounding Antonio Brown, the football world. We're still discussing AB's dramatic exit 2 weeks ago, including the receiver himself. He's been talking, guys. AB told TMZ Sports that his choice of removing his pads and leaving mid-game against the Jets, quote, probably wasn't necessary or professional. Meanwhile, friend of the show and Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson told USA Today that, quote, what Antonio Brown did was a bad decision that will follow him the rest of his life. When he's my age, when he's 61 years old, that will still follow him. Shannon, what is your reaction to what your fellow Hall of Famer had to say about AB?
Well, ED is right. There will be a lot of things that I think Antonio Brown will regret one day. I don't even know if this is probably in the top 10 of what he will regret, Skip. I just wish AB would have said, you know what, instead of probably. Normally, when you're going to issue an apology, you don't say this is something I probably shouldn't have said, or this is something I probably shouldn't have done. This is something that I shouldn't have said. This is something I shouldn't have done, and I want to take time not to apologize for it. But the fact of the matter is, Skip, I don't think AB will probably regret this until it comes to the Hall of Fame. When he has to wait, when he should be a no-brainer, first ballot Hall of Famer, looking at his resume, looking at his body of work. He was a preeminent player. He's an all-decade player of the 2010s. He looks back, and that first ballot comes out, and he didn't get in, and maybe the second, third, or fourth ballot comes out, and he's not in. Then he'll start to look back and say, you know what? I shouldn't have done some of the things. Maybe if all of a sudden, financially, Skip, and I'm well off financially, but I look back at some of the purchases I made. I didn't lose money because of my behavior. I look back, I was like, how big a fool was I buying a $250,000 car making $325,000? That probably wasn't wise.
And what car was that?
I bought a Ferrari 512 TR. The black one that Michael Jordan had in The Last Dance.
I know it.
I had that exact car.
And you were at what stage of your career?
I was in the beginning. That was in 1993, Skip. I was making a grand whopping total of $325,000.
And it was your what year in professional football?
90, so that was my 4th year.
4th year,
yeah.
I got it.
I got it at the end of 93, but I felt good. I was like, okay.
Was it worth it?
Nah, it wasn't worth it, Skip. I got the flaws. I got the flaws. Them things, they love you, boy, today.
Yep.
I looking like Batman coming down the street. But anyway, Skip, back to AB. I just think the thing is, Skip, yes, he's going to look back. And it's Skip, you don't really start to... AB is a guy, Skip, that he becomes reflective instead of introspective. See, if you're introspective, a lot of times it will keep you from being reflective because you self-evaluate yourself and says, okay, I've done something here. Let me self-reflect introspectively and say, you know what, make sure that doesn't happen again. He should have done that when he left Pittsburgh. But he didn't do it because there was no one to hold him accountable for the wrong that he did. And so he went to Oakland, did the exact same thing, went to New England, did some of the same things, went to Tampa, and the very thing that started off and all that started to snowball this in Pittsburgh, he did the exact same thing again because he was never introspective. Always said, well, I shouldn't have handled this situation, should have done it like that. So for me, I agree with ED. We've all done some things. But I think the biggest thing is, Skip, that when you make a mistake, you do everything you possibly can, at least a wise, a prudent, rational person does, to not make the exact same mistake again. Skip, if AB had not behaved in this manner that we saw in Tampa, if he had never done that before, we could say that was an isolated, that was a one-off. You know what? I'd be okay. You know what, AB? Okay, everybody has a bad day at work. Normally, hopefully it doesn't get that bad. You brush it off. But because it's a reoccurring theme there's a pattern of over 5-6 years, How do you just brush it off and skip and say it's an isolated incident? But our guy ED is absolutely right. He will look back at it, but I'm afraid, Skip, it's going to be not because it's going to harm him. Because, like I said, AB should be a first ballot Hall of Fame. Of all the things that he's done, Skip, I cannot deny what he's been able to do on the field.
But you know and I know he will not be a first ballot.
He will not. It's already very hard for receivers to get in on the first ballot. I'm afraid, unfortunately, AB is going to have to wait. And he shouldn't.
Our man Terrell Owens, it required 3 times, and he had 0 off the field. They were on the field clashing and confrontations and whatnot.
Chris Carter had to wait, I think, 5 times.
Yes.
Tim Brown had to wait 4 or 5 times.
Shannon Sharpe had to wait
3 times.
3 times. Mm-hmm. I believe that this was significant yesterday, even via a quick TMZ, stop him on the street going into the restaurant kind of interview. For AB to go so far as to actually sound apologetic, it wasn't an apology, but it was apologetic to say, to your point, it probably wasn't necessary or professional, meaning to take everything off and throw it in the stands. And
what about the peace sign, Skip?
And the peace out, yeah.
What about the jumping jacks?
Jumping jacks on an ankle that allegedly requires major surgery, according to AB and his agent/lawyer. Okay. I do think that agent/lawyer and maybe other new advisors around him have been saying, hey, maybe you should back off this just a little bit because you do want to play next year, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I do. I want to make a little more money next year. And I think in AB's delusional world, he probably thinks that he'll get an Oakland Raiders kind of deal out there.
Those
what was it, $30 million or whatever?
Well, it was 3 years for $50 million
50,
with 30 guaranteed
30
over the first 2 years. Yes.
Do you really believe that deal's out there? Because
no.
I don't. And I will bet you that AB, as he approaches age 34 in July, I believe he believes that's out there.
No.
And I don't know how bad his ankle is. He continues to talk about, I did it on half an ankle. I did all that. Well, if he's right, if he's not exaggerating that could rob him of a little more quickness. He just had a knee surgery coming into this past year, and I didn't think he looked quite as explosive as he used to. Well, who does going on 34 years of age? Next year would be his 13th year in this league.
Right.
13th year? What receiver gets better in year 13? Well, seriously. So he's at least at the beginning of the end, if not near the end.
Hey, Skip, you know, as players start to get older, they're looking to cut salary. They're not looking to increase your salary as you get older. They're looking to decrease your salary.
Right. I love our man, Eric Dickerson. I still believe he's the greatest running back ever. We've had him on the show a lot, and he speaks from a position of wisdom to me, as do you. You remind me of each other. You've been through it. You know how the game is played on and off the field.
We're closer in age than AB and myself. So we had, in the way we were raised, he being in Texas, me being from Georgia, we were raised a lot alike.
Yeah. And by the way, just a quick plug, if I might, he's got a new book coming out, Eric does, called Watch My Smoke. I have read it. I endorse it. It's very good. It's really from the heart and from the gut, because it gets deep about what really goes on in professional football.
Right.
And he got deep in this interview with our man Jarrett Bell at USA Today about how injuries work, how they're going to push you, if not force you to, you got to go, you got to play.
Yes.
It's a big business of play through the pain, right?
Yes.
You lived with it your whole life.
The more money you make, Skip, the more expected of you, the more they're expecting you. And like I said, Skip, and like I said, whether it's forced or it's, you know, your teammates, we can count. Hey, you gonna be there Sunday, right? Hey, that's your team that you normally give them the business. Might come down to the locker room. Hey, 84, you ready to go? You know, hey, don't worry about this week of practice, but I know we counting on you. We got these plays for you.
So back in his day, Eric said he came to hate the Rams, not the team, as in teammates. He hated the front office because they were at odds, and he was. Listen, he had a playoff game against my Cowboys when they were the Anaheim Rams.
It might be still, I think it's still the record, isn't it? 248?
248. I've never seen it. I was there. I was in the front row of that press box, and I still haven't recovered from it because they couldn't get a hand on him. Ran upright, kind of
straight right up.
You know, with his head up, his chin up. It was like regal running, right?
Eric the Ram.
Whoo, was he? And yet he battled with them until finally they traded him to Indianapolis. Okay, so that's what goes on. And so what AB clashing with BA and the organization is nothing. It's just par for the course. Business as usual, right?
Yes.
Okay, so to me, Eric's point about this will follow him the rest of his life, I agree with that. In fact, I think it will haunt him the rest of his life, although right now AB thinks it's his claim to fame. And I believe it becomes more of a claim to infamy. And they say that NFT, which is way over my head, but they say the value of it is already $1.5 million. I would think it's like $5 million because we've never seen that before. Eric had never seen it. Shannon had never seen it. You're in the Hall of Fame. You came in here the next day on Monday and you said, I've never seen that before. He exited while taking everything off and going.
Not mid-game.
Yeah, mid-game where he went bare top. He's shirtless. He's throwing his gloves into the stands. He's throwing everything. And then it's a big, almost a celebration exit. Jumping jacks and skipping and peace out. Like, that's the end of you. And as he said the next day, I don't want to be associated with that brand anymore after what you did to me.
Well, the Tampa brand, the NFL brand, I mean, what brand does he?
I think he meant the Tampa brand. But the point was, he bit the hands that had fed him the best because Tom Brady was his angel. Tom Brady loved him the way nobody's ever loved him and supported him and defended him and protected him. And I believe BA kind of went along with it, even though his initial response was he doesn't fit in our locker room because I had him when he was a rookie and I know him and I know what he is and what he's not. He doesn't fit in our locker room. But still, they supported him. They gave him his 7th, 8th, and 9th chances. Even after a fake vaccination card, they brought him back after a 3-game suspension and said, here, we hand you back the keys to our kingdom. You're it because we don't have Chris Godwin. And Tom said, I'm not going to just throw you 5 passes. I'm going to throw you 15 passes against Carolina. 15 passes at Carolina, caught 10 for a $101. Way to go. It's yours. And as you always say, once you show him and tell him, you are it. We need you because you're our savior. Better be careful. And here it went. And the next week, his agent asked for guarantee all the money that's in incentives. Give me $2 million.
You know what's going to happen, Skip?
No, we're not going to do that.
I was going to shut it down on you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play the rest of the regular season because I got my incentive, Skip. So there's no incentive for me to play because you've already compensated me. So what I'm going to do, and Skip, if you read the message that BA sent him, say, hey, ain't no resting for this playoff bull. We're playing. So AB was like, nah, I'm going to be good. Let me go on and get this incentive. I shut this thing down. I'm going to get 100%. Nobody is really 100% at this stage, Skip. Everybody is banged up. Everybody is nicked up. And then once AB saw that he couldn't get that, he couldn't get the guarantees. Okay, I'm going to go out there and play. Now, I'm playing, Skip, but I ain't getting the targets that you just gave me last week. Because remember, I had 9 for 7 catches at the half against Carolina the week before. Now I only got 5 for 3 catches. So y'all shortened me.
And Gronk he actually just got 1 more target.
1 more target. Skip.
And as I told you, AB saying on the bench, Tom, so Gronk's now your boy again, huh?
Skip,
he's only the GOAT tight end, you know.
Skip, you had another half in an entire game. It's not like Gronk got all his incentives that game. Gronk still it was late in the ball game when BA said, Tom, you're out. Tom said, bull jive. Gronk said, I need 1 catch to get that milli. Tom went in for 1 play. Gronk went in for 1 play. They got that 1 catch. They exited stage left. AB, if you 3 catch, I want to know who thinks that if AB is 3 catches away from getting $1 million, who doesn't think Tom Brady isn't going to force feed him? I don't care, Skip, if he catches 3 routes for 3 total yards. He's going to get the money because Tom just did it for him last year.
He did, and he would have.
Yes.
He loved him. Burned that bridge. So now we're back to social media, victim, AB listening to his followers, as you point out, take him down, stand up to the man, take him down. So he stood up to Mike Tomlin. He took him down in Pittsburgh, and all of a sudden he was down and he was out. And then he stood up and he took down Robert Kraft. He took a shot at him on Twitter, right? And he was out.
Right.
And then he stood up to John Gruden and Mike Mayock called him a saltine, took him down. Internet said, go, AB, go.
Yeah.
And he went right out the door, right? Mm-hmm. And then he even stood up to Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. and Bruce Arians and the GM and everybody else in the organization, and he took them down. He gave them a peace out meltdown, and the internet said, go, AB, go, and he went. I'm to the point, you disagree, but I'm still to the point where the more I think about this, the more I hear the Hall of Famers talk about this, I just think this is going to resonate through boardrooms across this league, and he's not going to get another opportunity. I think the league is saying more trouble than you're worth at age 34 coming off maybe ankle surgery.
But Skip, he's been that. But he's immensely talented.
But you know, and I know, the league at some point just says no.
Yeah.
That's enough.
But they need to see decline. If they see decline, now, if what you're saying is true, that you don't think he's as explosive as he once was, if they start to see that, then you're right. But they saw the Dallas Cowboys game. They saw the Miami Dolphins game. They saw the Carolina Panthers game. And they're saying to themselves, that doesn't look like decline to me.
Okay, but they also saw Brady and company go to Drew Brees in the playoffs last year and win without AB.
Of course.
And go to Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau and win without AB.
Skip, they won a lot of games without AB. They didn't need him. But I think Tom, as a courtesy, that was Tom, like, man, I like AB. I like how hard he works. Everybody talks about how hard Tom works in practice. Everybody that I've heard talk from coaches say they've never seen a player throw as much as Tom does in practice.
Yep.
That's why he hasn't had arm troubles. Most quarterbacks are not throwing as much as Tom. Tom likes guys that work hard. Even if you start, you heard Skip, guys lallygag, and Tom gets upset. Remember this year, they had it in the paper. He was upset because he didn't feel the guys were working in the 2-minute drill. The defense was kicking his butt. So he felt they weren't working the way they needed to. Okay, so Tom is a worker. From all indications, everything I heard about AB works he's extremely hard in practice.
And
so,
Eric Dickerson brought that up also. That's his reputation, is he gives you all he's got in practice.
Right.
Okay, that's redeeming value.
Let me ask you a question, Skip. What are you going to remember about AB? Are you going to remember all the 100-catch seasons, all the 1,500-yard seasons, all the 11-touchdown seasons? What are you going to remember? And think about it. Even as great as T.O. is, I believe T.O. is the for me, I got T.O. number 2. A lot of people have Randy number 2. Some people have Randy number 1. I think Jerry's the greatest. But T.O. for me is a top 3 receiver.
I know. I got it.
And what do they remember? They remember the antics. They remember T.O. dancing on the sideline. They remember the Sharpies. People don't even remember just how dominant he was.
Okay, but is that worth it to Terrell at the moment to get that much publicity and shine out of it? Because he became a celebrity of a star. He came from nowhere. Right. He was a quiet kid from, as you know, what was it, UT Chattanooga.
Yeah.
3rd-round pick, but had to play in literally Jerry Rice's literal shadow, right? To start off with.
And J.J. Stokes.
And J.J. Stokes. And all of a sudden, once he started going pom-poms and Sharpies and dancing on the star, or at least celebrating on the star, you know what happened? He exploded into, he became a household name.
He did, Skip, but it's hurt him in other aspects, especially now, because they just see that guy. People, when he tried to do business, he tried to get in the doors. People see him as a disruptor. They see him as someone, well, we read about this, we heard about this. So it's hurt him in other aspects. And that's what with AB. Skip, my name is good in Denver. My name is good in Baltimore. So, I mean, I've had several times, the Broncos, when Mr. B was alive, reached out and asked me, did I want a role, something with the Broncos? Nah, Mr. B, I'm good. People in the business, I'm good. AB.
Is anybody going to reach out to AB? Want to be an ambassador for the Patriots?
Skip,
no.
What about businesses in Pittsburgh? What? Jerry's still doing stuff in San Francisco.
He is.
Jerry ain't played in San Francisco in 20 years.
But that's okay.
Yeah, thank you.
He earned
it. Skip, that's what I try to get guys to understand. Once you become a great football player in a town, all you got to do is keep your nose clean, and you got $150, $200, $250,000 a year. Just by shaking hands, going to doing keynotes. AB could have had that right there in Pittsburgh. Look at all the guys in Pittsburgh. Mel Blount, Franco Harris, Lynn Swann, John Starver. All those guys go back and are royalty in Pittsburgh. AB could have been that. AB could have been that. And one more thing before I turn it over to you, Skip. Everybody keep asking me, say, well, Shannon, you keep bringing up AB and you speaking ill about the brother man. How did AB treat Mike Tomlin? You would think.
It's a good question.
You would think there ain't very many black head coaches. I'm going to be on my... Now, me personally...
We just went one fewer, actually. Go ahead.
I'm going to be on my best behavior.
Yeah.
But you best believe I'm going to do right by him because I know that the likelihood if he gets right, he might not get another opportunity like the other guys. So I'm going to be on my best behavior. When are y'all going to hold AB accountable for trying to bring another black man down? Oh, y'all not going to do that. Y'all just going to talk about Shannon, talking about his behavior, but you're not going to talk about AB's behavior in a relationship and what it could have caused Mike Tomlin.
Yep.
Take it away.
I appreciate what you just said. Much deep truth to what you just said, because that was the genesis of all this was with Mike Tomlin. Okay, so my question to AB is, in the end, is it more important to you to be a celebrity or a Hall of Famer? Because they're two very different things.
Thank you.
You can have some celebrity and become a Hall of Famer, but you can't become a celebrity and a Hall of Famer because the voters will not stand for it. They will not endorse you. They will not accept you.
Because most of those guys, Skip, they're old school.
They are.
The way they believe there's a right and a wrong way to handle every situation, and they don't necessarily always agree that the organization is right, but they do believe that there's a right and a wrong way to handle every situation. And I can assure you, of all the voters, when they get in that room, there's not one that's going to say the way he handled that situation was right.
No.
Not one.
I mean, no new school voter would think that.
I know a lot of the Jared Bells, the Peter Kings, and all those. I know a lot of the guys that vote. The
bingo.
Yeah,
yes.
I know a lot of the guys that vote, Skip. And I know how they think. Because you got to realize, a lot of those guys cover me. I talk to them on the record, off the record about a lot of different things. So I have a pretty good idea of how they think.
Yep.
And that's not going to get it done.
Okay. Well, by the way, speaking of our man, Jared Bell, good friend of mine, came up in the business with him early in Dallas. Jared Bell is as respected an African-American columnist writing about pro football as there is in this land. He wrote immediately the Monday after the meltdown at Jets.
Yeah.
He wrote immediately, that's it for AB in the NFL. He's done.
Right.
Again, you still think somebody, production tolerance, will say, well, there's still enough production. We'll give it a shot.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. But speaking of that, he's an old school Hall of Fame voter, and he just said D-O-N-E, done. And I'm leaning to Jarrett.
Sometimes I just wish I could just sit down and just wish the NFL would let me come and talk to the guys that's coming into the NFL and to how to approach it.
I'll buy that.
Because I still believe, Skip, there's a right and a wrong way to handle every situation. But AB should be able to make $250,000 just in Pittsburgh alone. That's how good he was.
I think you're low on that.
But I'm just saying, Skip.
Right, I know, as starters.
Yes.
Yeah, right, I agree.
That kind of ability for what he was.
Now, we've given him a lot of chances, and I think all along we've always said we want him to be well and hopefully healthy, guys. But at this point, he's going to keep talking, and that is the latest, whether or not a team gives him another shot. No mercy. The Grizzlies made a statement after winning their 10th game in a row by beating Steph and the Warriors 116-108 last night. Ja Morant had a game-high 29 points for Memphis, who now find themselves 3.5 games out of first in the Western Conference. So yesterday, if you guys remember, Skip said that Memphis had become a legit contender in the West. So Shannon, do you now agree?
I don't think they're there yet. It's kind of like the old Ice Cube movie. Are we there yet, Skip? I don't think they're there yet.
Not yet.
But they're coming. I watched this game from start to finish. Skip, they got young. And see, the thing that they have going from them that very few teams have, Skip, they're a good team, but they're young. And they play every single night. I mean, they got Steven Adams, I think it might be the oldest guy on the team, Skip, but he's 28.
He didn't play last night.
Yep. But all the rest of the guys, they young crew, Jackson and Ja 22, Bain probably 22, Jackson's like 24. They're young, and they get guys coming off the bench.
By the way, Zaire Williams, Bronny's ex-teammate from Sierra Canyon, which was just 2 years ago. He started last night and played great, covered Steph most of the game.
Yes.
He's 20 years of age. Go ahead.
And that's the thing, Skip.
Yep.
So they're going to play hard. They're not going to get nights off. Chris Paul might take a night here or there. You get Steph. Steph's going to get a night. Clay's not going to play all these games because he's just coming back from after 2 years. Draymond is out right now. He's going to get a night here or there. These young guys are going to play every single night. And now you let them. They've beaten the Lakers 3 times. They've beaten Phoenix. They've beaten Golden State. They beat them last year in the play-in tournament.
Now, at Golden State.
Yep, they hungry now. They done got a taste of this. Ooh. Now, I do believe they're the third best team, but the gap that I thought existed yesterday, I don't believe it's the gap now, Skip. Because yesterday I thought it was, 1-2, Phoenix, Golden State, and then, no, it's 1-2-3. They're right there together. They're right there together. Now,
they have tracked down Utah right before.
Oh, yeah. They tracked down Utah. Now, the question is, Skip, that you're going to have to, that seriously, in a 7-game series, do you believe after 2 months of Clay getting his legs back under him, I don't believe Steph Curry is going to continue to struggle to shoot the ball because, Skip, he's struggling shooting the ball.
You can argue this is the worst slump of his career.
Yes.
He went 2 of 9 from 3 last night.
Even though he had a 27-point triple-double.
He did.
He didn't shoot the ball the way we're seeing Steph shoot the ball. Clay is going to get his leg. They're going to get Weissman back.
And they didn't have Draymond last
They didn't have Draymond, yeah. Skip, now, Phoenix, Chris Paul is the best pure point guard in basketball. He's a pure old-school point guard. Put him in the pick and roll. He's going to pick and pop. He can get to the rim. He can facilitate for everybody else. Devin Booker shooting a career high from 3. Mikal Bridges is an elite defender. Jay Crowder has not played as well as he has the last year for Phoenix, but last night he came up big, kept him in the ball game early. So I believe they're going to be there. But, Skip, this jock here, and I told you.
You did.
You was on Zion. I say, Skip.
Okay, but I just said Zion just because he's bigger. And Zion,
that might be his problem, though,
when
Skip.
he was right, he was really right. We'd never seen anything like his ability to score around the rim with both hands.
But this kid is so athletic.
Oh, it's just unbelievable.
And he just, Skip, he's getting better and better, and he's getting more and more confident.
Yeah.
He ain't scared of nobody. He's going at everybody, Skip. They put the ball in his hand. 3 straight possessions down the stretch. They said, you take this thing over for us, John. Bring us home. And a floater, and one, and a layup. Boop, there you go, your ball game.
So you're not convinced after even last night?
I'm gaining. They're convincing me. I'm not sold yet, Skip, but I'm listening to the pitch. I mean, they got me listening to it. I'm it's on audio books. I'm listening.
Okay, what happened in Are We There Yet? You had Cube driving with his wife in the front seat. Who was in the back seat? Kids,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And the kids were just getting antsy and anxious. Are we there
do.
yet? Yeah, they're like they do. These kids are anxious and they're antsy and they're hungry and they're tired of being overlooked.
Right.
And Ja had a little minor incident with some fan in Memphis last night. They were in Memphis, and as he's leaving the court, the young fan had on a Golden State.
Yeah, you want a high five?
Yeah, you want a high five? And Ja just stared him down. Well, Ja's still got a lot of kid in him, and he wants respect, and he's not going to high five with the kid. Why should no? Yeah. And so he apologized after the game, and it came from his heart both times. Right. Both times, that's just straight from the heart. Like, no, I'm not going to high five. Right. You got the wrong jersey on.
What, Skip? If I'm walking out of the stadium and somebody got Gonzalez, hey, Sharpe, you got on you better miss me.
No. So
it's not a knock on Gonzalez, but I ain't doing it.
He said, please find the kid's info, and I'll send him one of my jerseys. I'll sign it. Okay. And that's straight from his heart.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a great kid. I totally agree, Skip.
These kids, I should say, are arriving right before your very eyes. What they did Sunday to your Lakers was just astounding to me.
They took him apart.
And remember, there's no Dylan Brooks right now. He just might be their best defender.
Oh, he is the best defender.
He is dog after raw meat, man.
Yeah.
He is serious business. And I remind you, he averaged 17 a game last year and against Steph and company in that playing game. Weren't we kind of going back and forth? Is it Ja's team or is it Dylan's team? Right. I mean, they're sort of vying for the best player on the team. Well, once again, he sprained his ankle against the Clippers on Saturday, so he's gone for, 4 or 5 weeks. Well, let him get right. Let Steven Adams get out of protocol. He's still averaging 9 rebounds a game, leading the team. So he gives them an inside presence that they can play off of. He doesn't have to play high minutes because they look pretty good with Jaren Jackson manning the interior at 6 feet 11 inches tall. His father could play, and he can really play.
Yeah, because he's different than Steven Adams, Skip, because he can shoot the 3 ball.
Absolutely.
He can place the floor.
Yeah.
And he's a much more athletic defender than Steven Adams.
Much more. So I start looking down the list here, and I've been watching Memphis because they're really getting a hold of my heart now. And I've been watching this John Conchar. He comes off the bench.
Yeah.
He just makes everything.
Yeah.
Do you realize John Conchar from Purdue Fort Wayne, undrafted 2 years ago, he's making 49% of his threes. If he qualified because he didn't have enough attempts, that would be leading the NBA.
Yes.
Well, every time he comes in, he just says, I got this, and he goes straight up and shoots it with conviction like, I got this, and he swishes.
He lit the Lakers up both times they played in Memphis and on
John Conchar? And then young Tyus Jones. He just comes in.
He couldn't miss.
Hey, he couldn't miss last night. And by the way, he's shooting 40% from 3 and 48% from the field, both career highs for him. That young man just knows how to play basketball.
He does.
And he is actually a purer point guard than Ja is.
Oh,
and they've been playing them both together where Ja can just play off the ball and just swoop to the hoop and do his Ja stuff, right?
Yep.
And Tyus Jones, if we could see, he made the 2, Steve Kerr said after the game, the 2 biggest shots were from Tyus Jones. 2 threes back to back. If we could see kick out.
And Skip, he don't even hesitate. He don't even hesitate. He's like, I ain't resetting the clock.
Doesn't he shoot it like it's going to go in?
Yep.
Yeah. And this is another big one. Boom. And those came with 4:08 and 3:34 left and put them up 6 and up 9. And those were kind of the daggers.
Yeah.
But then, to your point, Ja just said at the end, when it got a little bit tight, he said, get out of my way and give me the basketball. If we could see these 2 swoops to the hoop. This is Ja at his most explosive, where he just says, I got you. I got you. How do you stop that? How do you stop that? From about 12 feet, a little floater.
And Payton II, was a nice defender.
He's very good. Not as dad.
Elevated over the shot. No.
And then here he goes again, and a little lefty scoop, and one.
Yeah, they call him the mitten. He ain't the glove,
he's the mitten.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that. But he's been playing well.
Yeah, he has. He made some big threes last night.
Made some big threes. But I'm looking at the depth of this team.
Yes.
Desmond Bane had a bad game. He shot 3 for 14. Didn't matter. But in the fourth quarter, they were locking up and locking down on defense because look what happened to Steph and Clay in the fourth quarter, shall we? Klay Thompson went 1 of 5 and 0 of 2 from 3. Steph Curry in the fourth quarter last night went 1 of 6 and 0 of 3 from 3. Well, that's the greatest shooter ever. And I keep telling you, there are a lot of nights when he doesn't come up as big as he should with the games on the line. Well, this was a statement game to me, at least for Memphis. Maybe Golden State doesn't care. They didn't have Draymond. But it's not like Draymond has young legs anymore, right? He's an aging player. Right?
Draymond plays more with his mind because he seems to be a step ahead. He knows where you're trying to get to, and he beats you to the punch. He does a great job of setting those screens for Steph because Steph will be on the other side, and Draymond's like, okay, I'm going to get this ball, and this guy's going to be over here, but I'm going to pass the ball behind my back to Steph and set the screen, and then Steph's going to get a wide open 3. Okay. So he does a great job of facilitating that, Skip. But this is a young team. Young teams that all of a sudden start to gain confidence by beating teams that people say, oh, Golden State's going to be there. Phoenix is going to be there. The Lakers are supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Utah's supposed to be there. That Skip, remember now, they gave Utah fits. They gave Utah fits.
They gave them fits. I agree.
Ja went for like 40, average like 30 in the series.
I got it.
So they're not afraid. You know what, Skip? Like Brian Billy used to tell us, we're just young enough to not know what we don't know.
Correct.
They don't know they're not supposed to be this good this early.
No.
They don't know any better.
And as much as I love the Nets and I pick the Nets, I'll be honest with you. I love basketball.
Yeah.
And they're hard for me to watch because it's one-on-one city, man. It's just like, is it your turn or my turn? And they clear side and somebody just dribble goes. This team flat out moves the basketball. And Kyle Anderson, who used to play for my San Antonio Spurs, is such a sweet disher of the basketball as kind of the point forward here. He just knows how to play basketball, and it's going to go to the right place at the right time. They took the Lakers apart with young legs and unselfishness, where the ball's just all of a sudden somebody's got a layup or a dunk. Really?
Because you got a lot of guys. Ja can take you off the dribble. Desmond Bane can take you off the Zaire Webb. They got guys that can take you off the dribble, Skip. So when you come to help, somebody's going to slash to the basket getting a layup, or somebody's going to get a wide open kick three. They're impressive. But like I said, Skip, I thought it was like 1, 2, 3. No, it's 1, 2, 3. They're right, Skip. They're right there. Now, the question is now 7 games. Okay, we've seen them beat each team individually, but in a 7-game series, you slow it down. I focus all my attention on you. I'm not worried about, okay, I got Memphis tonight, and then I got this team the next night, and I got the next team. No. All my attention is devoted to you.
They got young legs. They got young heart.
Oh,
they're maturing right before your eyes because they play a very mature brand of basketball. They didn't even have their head coach last night.
Right,
He's very good.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So my point is, over 7 games, at some point, Chris Paul's getting up there.
Yeah.
And it's just going to wear him out a little bit, having to try to deal with Ja and deal with Tyus. And after a while, would I be shocked if this team broke through and got to the finals? I would not be at all shocked.
Yeah, I think that would be a huge breakthrough. I mean, Ja played the most minutes. He played 37 minutes. But 37 minutes on 22-year-old legs is nothing.
Nothing.
it's nothing.
They are young and they are good.
They are.
And they
got me impressed. I don't feel as bad now. Now, I feel bad that they had us down by 29 because that's still unacceptable, Skip. But when you look at them and see what they've been able to do, you don't feel nearly as bad because you're like, okay, now you can see why they beat the Lakers.
Yeah,
well, remember what they did to Oklahoma City that night? Was it 70?
Yeah, they beat them. They beat them by 70.
And they did, record. I don't think Ja played that night.
He might have. He might not have.
Well, we're paying attention. We can definitely agree on that, guys. The Ringer released their NFL postseason power rankings, and here's the thing. Skip's Cowboys sit at number 5. The article points toward their high ceiling with playmakers on both sides of the ball as the main reason for the high ranking, despite their inconsistencies. Their opponent on Sunday, the 49ers, came in at 10th out of 14 total teams. So, Shannon, you're siding with San Francisco this week. So how much does this ranking concern you?
None. Because Skip been drilling in my head. He's like, hold on. We got the number 1 scoring offense. We got the number 1 yardage offense. We got the number 2 third down defense. Yep. We got a guy that got double-digit sacks, a guy that got double-digit interceptions. We got the most interceptions. We created the most turnovers.
Turnovers.
Hold on. Why the hell are you only 5th?
Best turnover ratio.
Yeah. Why the hell are you only 5th then with all of that? A 4,000-yard passer, a 1,000-yard rusher, a 1,000-yard receiver, offensive linebacker, and y'all only 5th?
That's a good point. Thank you for bringing that up.
Somebody been reading the Shannon literature saying, I ain't all bullish on the Cowboys. Ain't no way you can be bullish on the Cowboys if you fight with all that I just spoke of. That's what you've been having. Hey, you see, we scored the most points. Is that not good? We got the most yards. It's not that good? Oh, Micah and the Marauders. Micah 11 from heaven. I guess the Ringer, a lot of people don't think y'all all that in a bag of chips.
Well, the Ringer doesn't think a whole lot of your 49ers either, way down there at 10th among playoff teams.
You do realize that they got into the wild card. They had to go on the road and beat a Rams team.
That they own psychologically?
You see, Skip heard. Okay, you scored 41 against Philly the first time. You scored 36 against the Panthers, 44 against the Giants, 43 against the Falcons, 56 against Washington, 51 against Philly. Really, Skip? Really? Let's see. The Giants fired their head coach. The Falcons, the first-year head coach. Really? And the Panthers. Wow. Y'all got all them points against them. Hold on. Philly? What division does Philly play in? Oh, your division. The Giants. Whoa. I just asked you a simple question. What division does the Giants play in? You do realize on a 3rd and 9, the Giants lined up in jumbo formation and ran quarterback sneak. Joe Judge did that.
And he's gone.
He should never be a head coach again after doing that. And Washington gave up 56 to them. They put 56 on their head. Really, Skip? And then you got 51 again when they didn't play anybody. So that I would feel better. Now, I would be like, oh, my God, well, Skip done walked me into a trap. The Cowboys are number 1 in the power ranking. I took the number 10 team, and he ain't giving it. I feel very good. I feel very good. As a matter of fact, let me tell you how good I feel. I want another case. Make it 7.
7 cases.
7.
Done.
7.
Done. If you want 8, you can have 8.
It's probably coming. Okay. It's coming for the end of the week.
This is highly amusing to me.
Why is it amusing?
Because I know you, I think, better than you know yourself. I hear a faint note of fear in your voice as you try to shoot this down.
No.
Because you know and I know this team can explode on you at any moment.
Against a bad team, you sure can.
Okay. This team did almost beat the GOAT at the GOAT on opening Thursday night, and this team beat Belichick's team. You love Belichick's team. Beat them in overtime at New England, right?
Yes.
You love Justin Herbert. He might be the best out there. Beat him at Chargers.
You did that.
Okay? I can go on.
You ain't explode. You exploded for 20 points. You exploded. Wow.
We did that. We held Patrick Mahomes to 19 at home.
What did you get held to?
We got held.
9.
Yeah, we got held to 9. We had the ball 12 times and came up with 3 field goals.
That's it?
Okay. So here's my message to you. Right now, Jerry Jones is in football heaven because this is his dream come true kind of team, because this team is the ultimate box office, because it's the biggest X factor in the playoffs. This team is capable of just exploding on you and being the best team in football. It's capable of doing that. It's also capable of laying the biggest egg in the playoffs.
There you have it.
Well, it is, because we've seen them lay eggs.
We
and
have.
it will leave a lot of egg on my face over here on this side of the table.
What you have on Monday.
But that's hurry, step right up. That's ringmaster stuff. That's P.T. Barnum and Bayless circus kind of stuff, because you can sell that, because at any moment they are wildly unpredictable, right?
Yes.
And even when they stink, the warrior that is Rain Dakota Prescott can fight back in the fourth quarter and make it a ball game, right? So you have all that going. So Jerry's sitting up there on his throne in football heaven because he's got the ultimate, most valuable team in football. He's got the biggest draw in football because of all of the above.
Yeah.
So I love what the Ringer wrote about the Cowboys, my Cowboys. It's hard to get a read on the Cowboys right now. There are moments when Dallas looks like, dare I say, the best team in football, right?
Yes.
Okay. And it goes on to say, so it shouldn't be too surprising. This team finished first in the Football Outsiders DVOA. It's like a third level stat. But you can make stats say this is the best team in the playoffs, right?
Right.
And you can make a case or hope to make a case that when you least expect it, they can do Cowboy things and look like the worst team in the playoffs.
Right. But Skip, doesn't that concern you, the volatility in which they played with over the 17-game season? I mean, you wouldn't want somebody investing your money in the volatile stocks. You want something to look like this here, Skip. I'm not saying you got to be way up here, but I'm just saying don't be way up here and then way down here. If you just want to ride the wave, see, like I said, merry-go-round. This, like here, that's the merry-go-round, Skip. Now, the roller coaster going to do this.
Yep.
That's what you own.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Mess around and get stuck on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
I can see it happening Sunday.
Yeah.
I can see it happening Sunday.
You're
I can see that. No, I don't hope. I hope. I can see Bosa and Armstead and Warner, that defense getting out the Dak, and I can see you coming in here on Monday upset at Mike McCarthy.
Okay. We still have to win in spite of him and in spite of our owner, general manager. And maybe we're going to talk about this later in the show, maybe in spite of my kicker, who seems to have gone south mentally, which is a pretty frightening thing at this point in the season. Okay, I got to read one more line from the Ringer because I really liked it. The article goes on and on about how the Cowboys have the best pass rush in pro football when they're cranked, when they're clicking, when you pair 11 from heaven with Randy Gregory and D-Law. They can come after you, and they're going to get after Jimmy G.
Steelers got the best pass rush, but okay.
Okay, well, I don't know. The three of them combined, I'll take them over anybody. I got Cam Hayward, and I got TJ.
Pittsburgh got the defensive player of the year.
I got it. I'm still taking mine. I don't think there's anything out there like Micah Parsons. I just don't. I haven't seen explosion. I haven't seen sudden. I haven't seen closing burst like 11 from heaven. Micah's Marauders.
TJ.
Okay, all right. But the point is, the Ringer goes on to conclude when that group, the defense, is paired with a good day from the team's offense, this squad is like John Williams' soundtrack to Jurassic Park, a beautifully symphonic piece of art that almost makes you forget you're looking at an eccentric billionaire's vanity project. Okay, that's what Jurassic Park was, and that's what my Cowboys, ultimately, they're a vanity project of the eccentric. Okay, well, I liked it because I'm being harshly objective here about my Cowboys. But that's the God's truth. That's it, right there in a nutshell.
But here's the thing. He said when the Cowboys play really well, But what team can't we say that? What if Green Bay plays their best, if Aaron Rodgers is on his game, and that defense is on their game, if Tampa Bay, if Tom Brady's doing Tom Brady, and that defense comes to play, Patrick Mahomes on his game, and that deep, Skip, who couldn't we say that about in the playoffs? That's just not mutually exclusive to the Cowboys.
I know, but the extremes are more extreme here.
Can Dak Prescott get hotter than Patrick Mahomes, boy? No. Can he get hotter than Aaron Rodgers? No. Can he get hotter than Thomas Everett Patrick Brady Jr.? No.
And final line from the Ringer about my man Ezekiel Elliott. 1 week, he'll look like he's running in mud. The next week, he'll look like he was shot out of a cannon.
What cannon?
Voila. Okay? I think this is the week shot out of cannon. And by the way, Tony Pollard, he's resting that bad heel of his. He might look like he's shot out of a missile silo.
Skip, can somebody help me understand? The Cowboys played 17 games. Zeke played all of them. Mm-hmm. He only had 4 games in when he rushed over for over 75 yards.
Yep, he was saving it for this Sunday.
No, so for 13 weeks, they shelved that thing.
Yep.
Hey, say this, hey, Zeke, we don't want you to show him anything.
No.
So we just want you to burst on the scene,
yep,
wild card weekend, and just show everybody what we've been holding back.
Fresh legs, fresh knee. Take the brace off, just let them have it. Here we go. Tony Pollard and Zeke, thunder and lightning. For a while, I went 7 games, second in the league in rushing. Maybe we bounce back with that. That's my gut feeling that we will. Yeah. Dak has played not well. He's played great in 3 playoff games. You're going to get the best of Dak Prescott on Sunday. I believe if Mike is okay, I don't know what his COVID situation is. I hope he's okay. I hope he didn't get too sick. If he's right, this defense will take the ball away from Jimmy G, as in Gag, because you know your guy give it away too. Throw it up. Well,
your guy turn it over too. Now let's not get carried away. Now let me see. Your guy is careful with the ball. Okay. Your guy been known to
turnover ratio. It's the most telling stat in all of professional football. We led it. Mm-hmm. That takes into account how many times you give it and you take it.
And let that sink in, Skip. You guys take it away more than you give it. You guys, the only team that you got a guy that had 11 interceptions, a guy that had 10 plus sacks. That's your defense. I think you finished third in third down percentage, getting off the field. Mm-hmm. I mean, you finished second in third down percentage.
Yes, we did.
You scored the most points, had the most yards, and y'all only 5th in the power ranking. Shouldn't that cause you some alarm? You like with all those stats, in those 3rd level and 4th level and 15th level stats, y'all should be number 1. Okay. Why not?
But the Ringer writer is making the case. I don't know what to do with them, so I'll put them in the middle. I'll put them 5 because he's making the case. You could put him 1. And
he should have. He write the article. He could have put him anywhere he want to, but he know he couldn't put him 1. You know what's happening?
He was heading that direction.
He was headed to 1. He bypassed 2, didn't stop at 3, missed the stop sign at 4, and stopped at 5.
Okay. And by the way, we'll get deeper into this a little later, but guess who was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week again? Dak Prescott. That's 3 times this year. That's a Dallas Cowboy record for a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's beyond Troy Aikman.
First of all, you do realize, granted, he played well, but you do realize they didn't play any starters on the defensive side of football, right? So so in other words, he did what he was supposed to do. You would have been alarmed. It would have been a major cause for concern had he not won Offensive Player of the Week against that team, considering they didn't play anyone.
But he did get his swagger back. He got his mojo back. He got his confidence rebuilt. It was crucial, and I was wrong about this. I would have shut the whole offense down and just kept it on ice for a week and just given them.
You've been on ice.
Bye.
You've been on ice.
Yeah.
You remember what happened?
They're about to ice you.
You were on ice with Arizona. Yeah. You had 7 points going into the 4th quarter. How much more ice you need? You scored 9 points against Kansas City. How much ice you need? You had 0 points going into the 4th quarter, and your guy was doing mop-up duty. Your guy was mopping up the kitchen.
Want to make it 8?
Now, you keep talking now, you're going to make me do something drastic.
8.
Make me call PepsiCo and have Mountain Dew back an 18-wheeler Mountain Dew up in here. Okay. So don't make me do it. I know Genesco. I know the people, the higher players of Genesco. So don't make me do it, Skip. Don't make me do it. I don't want to have that dude lined up in Fox. Nobody can get into the building because I got so many cases out there that belong to me. They won't be going to you.
I've now got so many cases. We just started. We broke ground yesterday on our third swimming pool in the backyard. We don't have any ground to break anymore. We got 3 swimming pools of Diet Dew lined up side by side by side. There's no grass left.
Well, Ernestine, you're going to have a big hole in your backyard because I'm going to get all my dew back. That's what's about to happen.
Of the Diet Dew truck pulling into Fox is something I'd like to see. No mercy. Sunday on Fox, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles look to dethrone the reigning champs as they take on the GOAT, Tom Brady and the Bucs. It all kicks off 1 Eastern with pregame coverage starting at 11 a.m. only on Fox, all part of Super Wildcard Weekend. Well, Dak Prescott torched the Eagles for 5 touchdowns in Week 18, and is being awarded the NFC Offensive Player of the Week as a result. This is the 3rd time Dak has won the award this season, which is the most any Cowboys quarterback has won it in a single year. And Shannon, you were yelling before we went to commercial. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. But tell me, how significant is this?
It's not that significant. Dak Prescott did what he was supposed to do against a team that's resting the lion's share of the defensive starters. I think it would have been a cause for concern, or alarm bells would have gone off had he not played well. Now, I don't think anybody was there. So you expecting a 5 touchdown pass against the 49ers? Why not? I mean, he did it once, but let me tell you what happened.
Well, it's possible. I'm not expecting it, but it's possible.
They put man on the moon.
He is capable.
They put man on the moon, so anything is possible. Yes, I'm calling it a moon shot.
5 men in the end zone.
Yeah, he did whatever. Whatever. Okay, how about this here? Let's see. He won Offensive Player of the Week against the Patriots.
Yep.
If you don't mind, the next time you play the game, Skip, tell the people at home what happened.
It's Washington?
It was against the Denver Broncos.
Oh, the next
They
game.
lost. Okay, Week 16, he scored 56 points against the Washington football team.
He did.
If you don't mind me asking, Skip, can you tell the people what happened the next week? He struggled against Arizona.
Yep.
You see the reoccurring theme there, Skip Bayless?
That's why this team is the greatest show on earth.
So, with that being said, I feel very comfortable with this. He played well last week. I'm just going by trends. Just going by the trend. The trend is Offensive Player of the Week. The next game he played, boop,
roller coaster.
Boop. So guess what? So you were just up. So quick.
Would you like to make it 8 cases on the game Sunday?
It's coming, Skip. We got time. Let it build.
I thought this was a very significant award for Dak Prescott because it's all about momentum and mojo, and he got both of them back in one fool's gold game at Eagles. You can laugh at it.
You just called it fool's gold.
Okay, it happened. You were the one who told me he needs to play.
Yes!
I said, I'm old school like this. Just shut it down. You've done enough. Hey, what'd I tell you? Hayes in the barn. You can't improve anything. And I was dead wrong because he played into the 4th quarter against the practice squatters, and he lit them up as he should have. But he needed to light them up because he needed to rebuild his confidence.
Thank you.
Because it got shell-shocked the week before. Okay?
And the week before that, he had just won Offensive Player of the Week.
He needed to trot off the field early in the 4th quarter and have everybody congratulate him and say, what do you congratulate me for? The first time I've thrown 5 touchdown passes? And they said, no. Guess what? You've thrown more touchdown passes than anybody in any single season in Cowboy history. Don Meredith, Craig Morton, Rodgers Staubach, Danny White, Troy Aikman. We can go on and on, all the way to now. You are the guy. You. Dak Prescott, none of those all-time greats, those hallowed saints of Cowboydom.
Well, I guarantee you, if he had Emmitt Smith in his backfield, he wouldn't have threw for 37 touchdowns either.
Okay. Well, Troy always wished he could throw a little bit more, but they didn't need to.
Yes.
Okay, this team needs to throw because, obviously, I hate to bring this up, but Dak, without a running game at all, when they go for under 500, they lost 5 games. He was 0-5 when they didn't run for 100 yards. So he needs some running game, but in the end, they don't have enough running game that in this day and age, you can't get away with what Troy and Norv Turner and company got away with back in the dynasty days of the 90s.
It's a different game.
It's a different game. Yeah. You have to throw it. And in the end, I don't care how Kyle Shanahan can run the football on Sunday, and I'm sure he will. Because my defense against the run, I think it ranked 23rd.
Oh,
so
y'all in a heap of trouble. Oh, yeah. Hold on. What's your defense is against the rush?
I think it's 23rd.
Okay, I tell you what I'm gonna do. I want 7 cases and a 6-pack.
And a 6-pack.
And a 6-pack.
Call it 8.
No. I want a 6-pack.
In honor of the great Troy Aikman, let's call it 8.
No.
Right?
No.
Great 8.
Nope.
At some point, we could call it a Michael Irvin 88, maybe at some point, right? We may get up to that before this game hits.
I ain't gonna take it more than 10 because I don't want your feelings to be hurt. Okay. I get about 12, 15 cases off, you'll be upset.
The point is, upset. I'm up like over 100 cases.
I'm going to get it back.
Okay, all right, you're going to get it back. Not in one game, but maybe.
Yeah, because you got 2 teams in here.
Okay, all right. So the point is that Dak would never own any of his slump. He refused to even speak the word. Mm-hmm. And Jerry finally acknowledged, he's in a slump. And Mike McCarthy said, well, I wouldn't go that far. And Dak said, no way. And so then they were taking shots at the media. It's pretty great to have that many touchdown passes, said Mike McCarthy, when you're in a slump. Okay, so they're firing back. They got chips on shoulder, and I'm a happy camper because this is exactly what I needed. This is momentum into the first playoff game. Huh? And what do I keep telling you? I can't defend a lot of stretches Dak has had in his career. What is he? He was drafted in the 4th round. Sometimes he plays like the 4th overall pick, and sometimes he plays like a 4th rounder, right? Yes. Okay, it's as simple as that. Yes. But for some reason, when the chips get pushed into the middle of the table, he plays like the 4th overall pick because he did it 3 times in 3 playoff games against Aaron Rodgers, against Russell Wilson, and against McVay and, Coach McYay and the Rams.
We lost to Jared Goff.
Yeah, okay, but you tell me Aaron Donald just might be the greatest defensive player ever. Blah, 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 blah. And again, he did. I got to throw this in for Aaron Donald's sake. I've been skeptical of him until this year, but every game I watched of Aaron Donald this year, he flashed.
Yeah, that guy.
I'm like, okay, I see you, I see you.
You better hope you don't see it next Sunday. Well, I don't know if they can play y'all. You better hope you don't see it in the playoffs.
Well, I hope Aaron Rodgers sees it. That's what I would like to see.
Oh, hold up. You want the Cowboys to see Aaron Rodgers?
No, I want
you want Aaron Donald to see Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, yes, I would like to see that because, hey, then the championship game could wind up, who knows?
No.
In Tampa.
You need to come to Lambeau. You the one that said you're going to do it again. Don't let somebody do your dirty work. You go do your own bidding.
Who is you? Cowboys?
No, you want somebody to knock the Packers out so somebody else can do your dirty work, do your bidding. Yeah. Do your own bidding.
If Brady goes to Lambeau, it's over again for Aaron Rodgers. He's 1-5.
I want 50 cases.
Okay, we'll get there. We will get there because he will fall to 1-5.
No, he will not.
He cannot beat the GOAT because the GOAT's got his number.
No, we got your number.
Yeah.
Talk about this. I'm
just telling you, this is great. I couldn't ask for any more. And by the way, this team is so whole. It's so healthy. We lost one cog in our offense, and it was Michael Gallup. God bless him. I'm knocking on wood for his recovery. Cedric Wilson just might be better than Michael Gallup in this offense. Yeah. As a slot receiver, he's a big game, big time playmaker. He just gets open and catches balls. He can even throw it occasionally.
Skip. Jennings, Debo will call somebody. Ayuk, Kittle, that run game, and then that defense, they got something for you. But like I said, Skip, I'm just going by trends.
Here, let me give this back to you. Micah and Micah and Micah.
Kittle. Hey, you better hope he just rushes. Don't put him on Kittle. Because Kittle going to go for 10 for 130 and 2 touchdowns if Micah covers him down the field. Okay. That ain't them guys that he been dilly-dallying with down the field.
Help me out. Who's throwing it to Kittle?
Jimmy G.
Thank you.
Jimmy Great.
Okay. Jimmy Gag? Mm-hmm. Huh.
Jimmy Neutron.
Really?
Oh, yeah, Jimmy Neutron. Go off like a bomb. Neutron bomb.
Liked him. You have never liked him, and now you're stuck with him.
I love him now, though. I learned to live.
I love my quarterback. Who's better right now, Dak Prescott or Jimmy G? It boils down to that.
I know one guy going. Hold on, like you told me, one guy's going to the Super Bowl. Now, one guy went to the Super Bowl.
And what happened in the fourth quarter?
I don't know. Can your guy get to the fourth quarter of a championship game?
Oh, absolutely.
When he going to do that?
Hey, my guy, if he gets to the fourth quarter, he may be down like 30-3.
Exactly. It's over.
The point is, when he gets to the fourth quarter, you better look out because he will go warrior on you.
All I'm saying, Skip, in the two previous times that your guys won Offensive Player of the Week, check the next game in which he's played.
Yep.
So if history repeats itself, and history has a funny way of repeating itself.
Well, it does. So Dak Prescott in 3 playoff games has had an average QBR score of 77. If you project that out this year in the NFL.
2 cases right now, he don't have 77 QBR on Sunday. 2 cases right now.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay, then. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Well, I may do that by Sunday. I got to see how many cases we bet just on the outcome.
I ain't no telling.
I don't want to do prop bets. I want to do outcome.
No, Skip.
I don't care about that. Like
Vegas
nickel and dime.
Let me ask you a question.
Nickel and dime all you want.
Skip, Vegas have all the prop bets. Coin flip. We're going to bet all that before it's all said.
I'll do this right here, right now. I'll do 2 cases that Dak will have a higher QBR on Sunday than Jimmy G.
No, you said.
2 cases.
Hold on.
Well, let's do quarterback versus quarterback.
You said history said that in 3 playoff games, Dak averages 77. I'm just saying he's not going to have a 77 QBR. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I don't care as long as it's better than Jimmy Gags.
I don't care if it's better than Jimmy Gags. Huh? Jimmy G going to win.
Is he?
Yeah.
Huh. What happened in that 4th quarter of that Super Bowl? Do you remember?
Dak was watching it. Dak was watching it from the stands. Jimmy G was playing. You know what? Don't Tom Brady have a docuseries come about the man in the arena?
Yeah.
Some players that Dak ain't never been in the arena at the Super Bowl on the field.
Yeah, but Jimmy G's got some bad memories of that.
Hey,
and they haunt him.
He got memories.
Yeah.
Something your guy doesn't have. My
guy's got great memories of every playoff game he's played.
And he caught the L.
He played even Steven with Aaron Rodgers.
He didn't play no even Steven.
He did too. He got him all the way back to 31 all for 305 and
think about what I want you to say what you just said again. He got him back to what?
31 all.
How did he get down? How did he get down by that many points? I just want to know how he got
21-3. My defense had 2 weeks off and didn't show up.
What about your offense? How did they show? Because at one point in time it was 21-3, so that means your offense didn't show up either.
They showed up. 31 all is showing up.
And then what happened?
Yep. 2 hand of God field goals by Mason Crossbar.
You know what's Skip? It's funny that you mentioned that. You do realize that you had a chance to take the lead. You had a chance to take the lead to put the onus on Aaron Rodgers. Well, field goal didn't beat you. He needed a touchdown to beat you. Or tie you. And what happened?
Well, my guy's a rookie playing in his first playoff game against Aaron bleeping Rodgers.
He's still that dude.
And he was great.
And don't you ever forget it. He said, don't you ever forget it.
My guy came right back around and outplayed Russell Wilson in a home playoff game.
That is what you said. Hold on. I remember when the Cowboys went to Lambeau Field, you ain't mentioned nothing about no rookie. My guy, Zeke and Dak, you come out here, how about them Cowboys? All you do was bumping your gums how they went to Lambeau Field.
Well, my
team is legit. My team.
Well, they went 13-3 and had the 1 seed.
It had the 1 seed.
Yep.
And Aaron Rodgers had nothing but old mustard seed. But he had faith.
Did he?
Yeah, man.
And his tree grew. Grew all the way to 1-4 in NFC Championship games.
He about to be 2-4.
Yeah. He once beat Caleb Haney in an NFC Championship game. That's all he's got on his resume. Congratulations.
Your guy about to have 1-3 on his resume.
Yep.
Oh.
1-3.
Your guy, Kyle Shanahan, so believes in Jimmy G that he traded the sun and the moon and all the stars to go up and get Trey Lance.
Your guy played $75 million. Your guy paid $75 million for you. You said a guy worth $750.
He will earn it. He's played some $7.50 an hour.
Okay.
They get this win over the weekend. We won't be talking too much more about the contract, right, guys?
This.
No mercy. Before John Morant helped the Grizzlies win their 10th game in a row last night, one of the budding superstars' signature plays this season was a chase-down block against the Lakers this past Sunday. So NBA fans immediately drew a parallel from this play to LeBron's signature block, Game 7, 2016 Finals against the Warriors. We know it well. So, Shannon, which was the better block, John, Sunday or LeBron against Golden State?
Why do you
be honest. Just be honest.
I had to ask.
What does your eye test tell you?
Skip. LeBron just had the greatest block. LeBron just had the greatest defensive play in NBA playoff history. That's what that was.
It was?
It was a game, Skip. It was Game 7 in the final 2 minutes in order to cap off a 3-1 come-from-behind victory against the greatest regular season team in NBA history that had a unanimous MVP on it. That's what that block did, Skip. One block happened. It was Game 7. The other block happened on a Sunday night against a team that was hovering around 500 all year long. It's not comparable. Ja had a sensational play. He's a sensational young player. He's right there. He's about to take that next step and go in the door that says superstar. But what LeBron did, he reached the top speed of 20 miles an hour. He made contact with the basketball at 11 and a half feet. It's not comparable, Skip, and you know that. Don't do LeBron like this, Skip.
I'm going to do him like this. Okay, we got to go back to what actually happened on LeBron's play. It's the classic bicycle.
Oh, like Desmond Bain? Bicycle built for two, Desmond Bain?
No, it wasn't. Bicycle built for two. Can we please see what happened with J.R. Smith? Because he cuts off Iggy. Oh, this is still.
Oh, this is Desmond Bain.
Okay. All right, I'll give you that. But look what J.R. Smith did. He cut off Iggy at the pass. He stopped him cold where he was going to go dunk it himself, and he couldn't go dunk it. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're very similar in how they unfolded, because all of a sudden Iggy had to go up and under. He was going to dunk, and at the last second he said, well, I got to take it back down here to my waist, and then I got to go back up, and it was a sneak attack. Okay? But the beauty of Ja's dunk was, or block was, that it was his turnover.
Yes!
Right?
Yes!
And so he said, I've got to undo that. And not only did he go undo it, but he blocked it to himself. LeBron didn't block it to himself.
Think about where LeBron came from. So LeBron, and the bicycle built for two because Desmond Bain cut off.
Okay, all right, I'll give you that.
Avery Bradley.
Yes.
Skip, what LeBron was made his so spectacular was the area, the ground that he covered, and he went up with both hands just in case Iguodala tried to come up on the other side. He says, I'm going to pin it on either side. But once I see you let it up on the right, I don't need to let. He put the left hand behind his back. Okay. One hand on you.
All right. And
look at this, Skip.
Okay.
He was out, okay, just in case you come up on the other side, I got something for that.
Okay. Did LeBron go retrieve the basketball? No, he didn't. Did Ja? Ja went and got his own block.
Skip. LeBron, look how fast LeBron was coming. Skip.
Okay. You think that LeBron's faster than Ja? I don't think he is.
At that stage right there, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Skip, look at Ja.
Okay. Who do you think wins inline to inline race
right now? Ja. Skip, you know, LeBron almost got a kid on his Ja. You do realize that, right? He got a son that's 6 years younger than Ja.
Okay. And how much taller is LeBron than Ja? How about 7 inches? How about 6'9" to 6'2"?
To give it his respect, somebody shot an air ball. I don't know who shot that air ball. And then they got it. And LeBron is in the far corner. LeBron says, it's either now or never. He says, whoever hit this first shot is going to win this game. I don't know where it came from. It's like Commissioner Gordon put that light on, and the bat symbol was up in the air, and he knew they called for it.
Really?
So he just took off running. He didn't know where he was going.
If Commissioner Gordon put up the bat signal, then it would be time for LeBron to hit the shot that wins the game, because that's how you come Batman. That's what Batman does. He hits the shot to win the game.
No.
Kyrie hit the shot to win the game.
Kyrie hit the shot. But you know what? LeBron told Ty Lue, let Kyrie take the shot in the huddle. That's what Jordan told Steve Kerr. Right? He go hit this shot.
Yeah.
So LeBron got to get the credit because you gave credit to Jordan for telling Steve Kerr he's going to hit the shot. He said, hey, let Kyrie take this. But he said, what I'm going to do.
You just revised history on that one.
No, you go look sideline, you can hear it. Now, what LeBron did, he realized whoever scored first was probably going to win this game in this situation because the basket started getting smaller and smaller because everybody's hands he got sweatier and sweatier.
Yep.
LeBron says, I got this. I got to preserve democracy. Yeah. They tried to overthrow. Yeah, old Iggy tried to get a sneak attack and try to overthrow the basket.
The ultimate sneak attack was by LeBron James.
Woo, that's pretty, Kai. Look at Kai, that thing, this rotation.
Yep. Oh, this is Kai shot.
I got Skip now. I said, I got him now. I got him now.
Why didn't LeBron take and make that shot?
Because he
doesn't do that.
He's done that. Huh. Don't do that, Skip. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because you know what this man has done in the playoffs on the last second shot. I don't want to have to pull the tape.
And by the way,
I got receipts.
You got like 4 receipts over 19 years. Way to go.
I got receipts.
Yeah.
I'm talking about CVS receipts. Yeah. You know, you got by one thing. I bought some Q-tips, and it spit out a receipt all the way out the door. I said, I don't want all these coupons.
I got 300 receipts for all the misses that LeBron has had.
You don't.
Yes,
no, you
I do.
Skip.
I do.
Skip.
Nobody has missed more shots with the game on the line than LeBron James.
Has anybody taken more?
He's taken a lot, but he's missed a whole lot.
If you look at his resume on last second shot, that thing's impeccable. Yeah.
Impeccable?
A lot of references.
It is not impeccable. It's terrible.
References.
How about last second?
Orlando.
How about last second free throws? Yikes.
We don't even get to that.
We don't do free throws.
We don't even get to that, Skip. Okay. We don't hold on. Like you said, Jordan. Who had the highest scoring average in Game 7? Well, 7? What's a Game 7? Jordan never went to a Game 7. You always harp at that. Yeah. So we don't need the free throw line.
By the way, speaking of Game 7, the only way you even had the option of the chase down block, the bicycle built for two, was because Steph Curry came up even smaller than he actually is.
How'd that LeBron's fault?
Steph Curry shot 1 of 6 from the floor in that fourth quarter and 1 of 5 from 3 and had a horrendous turnover behind the back into the third row with about 3 minutes left.
The only so you don't say anything about when Magic pulled his hamstring.
It's not about Magic. It's about Steph versus LeBron.
No. See,
Steph had this.
Magic had this because you remember what Magic did in first Game 1, that triple dub.
Yeah, but I mean, Magic didn't spit the bit like this. Steph did. Steph has come up very small every time he's got a shot.
I like Ja Morant.
Yeah.
I had Ja Morant as my guy. You took Zion. So don't try to take my guy now.
I'll still take Zion when he's healthy.
When is that?
Did you see the numbers? No one had ever put up numbers like Zion did the year he was healthy.
Yeah.
No one.
And only Greg Oden and Bill Walton has missed more games in the first 3 years.
I told you I love Ja, but I'll take 6'6" and explosive over 6'2" and explosive.
But when are you going to play?
Well, that's the problem. Okay, you got me on that.
I got you.
But I don't know. I mean, you couldn't guarantee that he wouldn't play. And by the way, he's gone to Portland, Oregon, and he says he's going to get right and come back, and here we go.
They ain't got no pools in Orlando?
They want to keep him away from the cuisine, as you said, the New Orleans cuisine, right? They want to kind of lock him up in Portland and say, this is what you're going to eat.
I've been to Portland a couple of times.
So have I.
They got restaurants up there. They serve food.
Well, okay, it's near Nike. They're just going to kind of put him in lockdown.
But, Skip, you rather have a 6'9", 255, 260, chiseled, sculpted, that can run 22 miles an hour, can clear 12 feet with a single bound, or you want a 6-foot guy?
Did you see what LeBron said the other night after the game about Ja? He's got rockets in his calf muscles.
Yes.
Well, he does. Because, by the way, could we see the lob throwdown from Little Ja?
Yeah, but he can back it dunk.
Little Ja. This is Little Ja from Desmond Bain. Look at this. Look at that. His head's above the rim.
I didn't want to pull the tape of LeBron. Ooh. Oh, but did you see what LeBron did to Jackson? When Desmond Bain was talking all that, he said, "I'm tired of y'all disrespecting me." And the referee said, "That's enough." And he said, "No, it ain't enough. Now I'm tired of this." He said, "Don't worry about it. Give me the ball. Give me the ball." And what did he do? Put a 6'11" guy on a poster.
Yep, and before you could look up, they were down by 29.
He still put him on the poster.
Yeah, well, he's doing all his stuff, his age 37 stuff, and they fall behind by 29 points late in the third quarter.
So what's he supposed to do? Now, you told me on Monday, LeBron can't play any better. Shot 74%, 75% from 3, 100% from the free throw line.
I'll give you that.
Oh, what do you have? 2 turnovers. You said LeBron can't do anymore. Now you want to turn around and want to criticize the man for averaging 29 in year 18,
you're
19.
Trying to gloat about him trying to bully some little guy.
Well, he tried to bully. You saw that man. The man got a little and1, and then he shoved LeBron in the back. You saw that, Skip.
I don't think that was Jaren Jackson.
No, that was Desmond Bain.
That's what I thought. It was Desmond Bain, who's like 6'4".
Yeah, okay. But I'm saying he shoved LeBron, and LeBron looked around like he should have caught it with a quick bow. All LeBron had to do, catch it with a quick bow.
These Grizzlies, they don't.
No, that's the name Grizzlies. They ain't no Bears now. Yeah, that's just their name.
They got Grizzly Bear, and by the way, they're named because they were in Vancouver.
First of all, Skip. You know, Elvis, I know about Elvis. I know about Beale Street. I think Justin Timberlake. I think the Shriners Hospital is up in Memphis. I mean, they got some great stuff going on. But they need to slow down now. They need to slow down. They had a king once upon a time, but we got the new king.
You've got the new king?
Speaking of kings.
King of what?
I'm talking about King
I don't know what he's
football.
He's not a king of the finals.
No mercy. Big East goes back-to-back on FS1 as 14th-ranked Villanova takes on 17th-ranked Xavier. Then St. John's faces UConn. Catch this huge doubleheader action starting tonight, 6 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. So Pro Football Focus released their All-Pro team, and Tom Brady was their first team quarterback. PFF cited Brady's second fewest turnover-worthy plays this season, despite having the most passing attempts. But in a twist, Aaron Rodgers wasn't even the second-team QB, as that honor went to Joe Burrow. Shannon, does
Joe Burrow,
this convince you Brady is actually the MVP?
No, it does not. I mean, people are trying to bend the stats all they want to, but all I know is what I saw with my actual two eyes, that Aaron Rodgers was the best quarterback this season, and he deserves to win the MVP. And Skip, by Pro Football Focus's metric, Rodgers had a better QBR. He had higher completion percentage, more yards every time he threw it, yards per attempt, touchdown to interception ratio. Brady turned the ball over 15 times. That led to 53 points. Rodgers turned the ball over 4 times. That led to 7 points. Now, Pro Football Focus is more concerned with what could have happened, what should have happened, as opposed to what actually happened. Brady had the second fewest turnovers. How many times did he turn the ball over? He turned the ball over. Let me tell you an interesting stat what Pro Football Focus didn't tell you. Did you realize that Tom Brady threw the ball more on first and second down than Aaron Rodgers threw all year? So forget third down. I ain't even mentioned third down. Tom Brady had more pass attempts, 16 more pass attempts on first and second down than Aaron Rodgers did for the entire season.
Thank you for bringing that up. That closes my case. I appreciate that. He had to.
No.
Yeah.
Skip, if you're throwing on first and second, damn, Skip, you're throwing on first down. You can't run it. Now, you do realize Josh Allen threw more on first down. Tom Brady was second. Aaron Rodgers was 14th. As far as passing on first down. But when you combine first and second down, Brady is 1, Rodgers is 12. So one guy is throwing the ball because they came into the season trying to get Tom Brady the MVP. And he's not going to be in the discussion if you run the football and be balanced. So we got to throw it. Over 700 attempts. Yes, the numbers should be outstanding. But let's not forget now, Jameis Winston threw for 5,200 yards in this offense. So throwing for a bunch of yards in this offense.
And it got him where? 7 and 9.
Better offensive line? Tampa. Better group of receivers? Tampa.
No, wrong. Wrong. Group, way wrong.
Group of receivers, not receiver.
Yes. Now, ranked. Your guys ranked 4th. Your group of receivers in Green Bay is ranked 4th by Pro Football Focus. Tampa's is 10th.
So
4th to 10th. If you do preseason, that's a whole other thing.
So what happened? How did you go from 1 to 10 and one guy went from 16 to 4? How is that possible if your quarterback is what you said he is?
Devontae Adams happened.
What about?
Is it possible he made Aaron Rodgers?
Let me tell you what I saw Aaron Rodgers do. I saw Aaron Rodgers go to Arizona when they were 7-0 without Lazard, without Adams, without Valdez-Scantling. Lose Tanya during the game, without his 2 best offensive linemen, without his 2 best defensive players. Now, I saw your guy on a Sunday night against the New Orleans Saints, get so upset because he's stinking it up that he went over to the head coach and said something that's very inappropriate. It's inexcusable, Skip.
Because what had happened, the Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe pointed out to me the next day.
Whoa!
Low blow, went low, took out Chris Godwin. Ruptured his ACL, and Brady went over and said, Skip, go, you know what.
Skip, remember now, I believe there's a certain way, I don't care what happened. There's a way that you conduct yourself. Because AB, if we use that argument to why he did what he did, AB could say, well, the man throat slashed me and told me to get the hell on. So we don't make excuses for bad behavior. That's not what we do here, Skip. We hold people accountable, so I got to hold him accountable. And then he threw the tablet. That's unacceptable, Skip.
It is.
People pay a lot of money for those tablets.
Tom Brady lost the MVP the moment he threw the tantrum and threw the tablet. Lost the MVP because he threw a tantrum on the sideline and threw a tablet.
Okay, what about Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers against that same common opponent had also his worst game against the New Orleans Saints, and his QBR was 15 in that game. 15, that was the worst of that weekend. Tom's QBR against New Orleans was 20, so Tom's worst game was a little better than Aaron Rodgers' worst game. Interesting.
Over the last 15 games, Aaron Rodgers has 37 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
And I watched Tom Brady throw walk-off passes to Brashard Perriman, who's on his 8th NFL stop, and then to Cyril Grayson. Are you kidding me? On his 4th NFL stop after being undrafted out of LSU? How can you do that? Only the GOAT can GOAT like that.
But I thought
that's unbelievable. Is Aaron Rodgers throwing to Cyril Grayson? No.
Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah. Those guys are really good.
Oh, now they're really good.
Lazard is really, they add up to the 4th best receiving corps in pro football.
No, because the sum. Because who's doing the adding?
Yeah.
But see, what you told on Skip, you keep saying he's throwing these walk-off walk-off game winners.
Yep.
Why are you in that position to throw a walk-off? Aaron Rodgers don't need to throw one because he's not in that position.
Yeah, but the defense has struggled all year. And guess what? Aaron Rodgers' defense is ranked 3rd by Pro Football Focus to 10th by Tampa. Oh, okay.
Well,
and then, wait a second. Running game. Aaron Rodgers' running game is ranked 2nd in the league to 13th for Tampa.
Right.
So Tom doesn't have nearly as much help as Aaron's had all year.
Let me ask you a question.
He hasn't had just help. He's had equal to him.
How did that running game look against when Aaron Rodgers wasn't in there? When they had Love.
Yeah.
When they had Jordan Love in there. And they played Kansas City.
Well, Kansas City was your preseason Super Bowl
Whoa.
Right?
But we saw Kansas City, how they give up the running game. They can't stop the run.
Okay.
So don't do that, Skip.
So Tom Brady didn't have AB for 10 games. He didn't have Gronk for 5 games. Now Chris Godwin is gone. He didn't have little Scotty Miller, his secret weapon, for the whole season.
Scotty Miller, stop it.
He pulled this off.
Skip, you just can't keep Skip. You can't just keep throwing guys in there. Scotty Miller wasn't playing anyway.
Okay, so
even before he got hurt, he was not playing.
Back to what Jenny just read. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. is first team All-Pro by Pro Football Focus. First team, and Aaron.
Skip, that's not the official. That's not the official.
Aaron didn't even make second.
You do
team.
realize that's not the AP All-Pro team, right?
It's your Bible. That's what
no, it's not. That's your
And by the way, one of their chief analysts, Steve Palazzolo, wrote this about Tom Brady. He said, from his individual performance outside of his teammates to his clutch moments to the team success, 13-4 to 13-4 for Aaron's team, Brady has added more value to his team by a wide margin and should be voted NFL MVP and first team All-Pro quarterback.
Skip.
Period. End of story.
So let me ask you a question.
Wow.
If I wrote me an article and I say Aaron Rodgers' value, what he brought to the table, and the big time throws, and the yards per attempt, and the completion percentage, and touchdown interception ratio, Aaron Rodgers should be first team All-Pro by a wide margin. Okay, he wrote the article. If I wrote an article about someone that I want to be in a positive manner, of course I'm going to accentuate what he did. Of course I'm going to say he should be this. What are we saying? Because he wrote an article saying this is what, that makes it true?
So Bruce Arians says, wait a second. He says that it shouldn't even be close to the MVP.
What the hell so let me ask you a question. If I were to ask Matt LaFleur, who should win the MVP, what do you think he's going to say? Give me a hint. I want you to tell me what you think.
Bruce Arians, highly respected around the league, went to all the way to travesty. It would be a travesty if Brady didn't win it.
Skip, do you realize how many coaches in their first 3 years have won 39 games? That was Matt LaFleur. So I don't know how well he's respected. I just know his body of work, his resume speaks for itself.
Every power ranking has Green Bay at the top. So pretty good team.
If you don't mind me asking, who's the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers?
I'll give you that.
So why,
he's had a very good year. He hasn't had a Brady year.
I'm just trying to figure out.
So here's what you never explained to me. Tom Brady averaged 315 yards passing a game. Aaron's down at 256. That's 11th in the NFL. How can we have an MVP ranking 11th in yards passing per game? That's
Skip.
That's insulting.
He's giving you the bang.
That's blasphemy.
He's giving you the bang for the buck without all the pass attempts. Brady threw the ball 188 more times. You would think on 188, considering what Rodgers averages a game, what his completion percentage is a game, the stats would be a lot closer had Rodgers thrown the ball as much as Brady. But he didn't, because Green Bay did not go into the season trying to get Aaron Rodgers the MVP. They went into the season trying to win as many games as possible. So Aaron Jones and Dillon ran the ball. Rodgers also threw the ball. But if you look at, Skip, all I'm saying is look at all the stats that you say you love accuracy. One guy's more accurate. You love the guy that don't turn the ball over. It's not even close. It was 4-1.
But it is very close because Tom threw it so many more times with a percentage of turnover ratio that was below Aaron's.
Actually,
given how many
Skip, consider how many bubble screens and regular screens that you guys throw. It's not like he's throwing the ball down the field, because yards per attempt sides with Aaron Rodgers. So clearly, your guy's, he's lying, he's short fishing. He ain't out that deep sea fishing. My guy throwing deep. Your guy at the line with a cane pole throwing it in there, catching a little crappie. My guy catching big bass and sailfish.
No matter how my guy did it, he completed 485 passes this year. That's the all-time NFL record. Because his team needed him to, and he got his team to 13-4. It wasn't some loser team out of the playoffs. It's 13-4.
So all that, is he the number one seed? Which guy's the number 1 seed?
Okay, off some...
Ain't no off some nothing.
Complication.
Whoa. It would have been complication if your guy had it, worked in his favor. Yeah. Then you would have a very compelling argument.
My guy had a better year.
Your guy had no better year.
Yes,
your guy threw the ball. But if you look at the body of work and what he was asked to do.
Yeah. Well, I told you, and I'm going to say it one more time. I just hope your guy has a landslide victory here because Brady will then go up to Lambeau, to the frozen tundra, and he will cook him in the frozen tundra. He will get even with him because he will be motivated beyond ever motivation. That he will be on fire to go to the frozen tundra and get even with Aaron Rodgers. So thank you for all of the above.
It ain't going to happen.
Yep.
It's not going to happen. Aaron Rodgers is the MVP, deservedly so.
Yep.
All the other stuff.
Congratulations. Take it and run with it.
I get what he said.
It's all you're going to have to look back on.
No, he gets sweepstakes.
You can fondly remember that you won the MVP as you
Super Bowl MVP.
Fell to 1-5 in the NFC.
2-4. 2-4.
2-4. That's pretty awful.
No mercy. LeBron James has been filling in as the Lakers center more with Anthony Davis out, and it might be the best thing for the 37-year-old. Since shuffling positions, LeBron has averaged over 32 points and just under 10 rebounds in that span as well, leading Sports Illustrated and others to ask if the King has become one of the best centers in the NBA. So, Shannon, scale of 1 to 10, how impressive has LeBron been playing center?
10. I believe in the history of the ball game, there have been 2 guys that can do what he's did, and I've seen one of them do it, and that's Magic Johnson. I saw him do it in the NBA Finals, Skip, and I believe it's LeBron James. Now, it's a lot different now than it was back then, Skip, because you don't have traditional centers. You don't have guys, with the exception of Joel Embiid, really the center and yoke, that really post up. Or even the power forward, Skip. They don't post up like a Karl Malone used to do it, like the Tim Duncans used to do. Now, basically, it's positionless basketball, and it's allowed LeBron James to play the 5 spot. Now, we know in his younger days, he could guard 1 through 5. I saw him take Derrick Rose the year he won the MVP, take him at the point. He's the point guard. I saw LeBron take him in the playoffs and neutralize him. I've seen LeBron James step in and play the 5 and guard Tim Duncan in an NBA Finals. So there's no question his versatility on the defensive end. Now, he can't play like that now as he's gotten 37 years of age. But for what he's doing offensively, Skip, is to be commended. Right now, if you make me say it, I'll say he's the 3rd best center in the NBA behind Jokic, Embiid, and then LeBron. He better than Gobert.
Is he better?
He better than Gobert.
You know what would happen if he had to lock up with Gobert in a 7-game series?
Imagine what
he would get terrorized.
Hold on. Ben Simmons got 42 against Gobert. Yeah. You lauded that. Oh, he got 42 against. If Ben Simmons got 42 against the French pastry chef, what you think we gonna do to Gobert?
You're in year 19.
It don't matter.
You're 30. No, wait, you're 40. Is it 40?
We'll make him Grey Poupon.
Yeah.
We'll make a mess of him, Skip.
Would you?
You make a mess of it.
You would not make a mess of it. I'm sorry. You could guard Tim Duncan in a little spurt here or there for a couple of minutes, just in a pinch. And by the way, I'm going to give you this. In some of those series against the Spurs, those final series, he would take Tony Parker.
You know this. And what did he do with him?
6 feet 2 inches tall.
And what did he do to him?
He would take him out. He would suffocate him. He would do the long arms of the law. He would do what Ben Simmons did to Lil Maestre, right? And even in Game 7, that was the controversial game. What did he do? Lil Maestre shot 5 of 23 because Ben Simmons says, I'm too long and quick for you. I'm too strong for you. I will take you out of the game. And LeBron did that to Tony Parker. I give it up.
Sure did. And he did it to MVP.
Time ago. That was back in 2013. Okay. That was 8 years ago.
Okay, LeBron was 29. Okay.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Okay. But what about now? What are he doing offensively?
Scale of 1 to 10, impressive scale. I'll give this a 3.
There you go. You're a hater. You know what?
It's just sad to me. It's like it has come to this for the Lakers. They have so little respect for or trust in Dwight, which I don't understand, but they just don't. They just don't want to play Dwight. I don't know. I think LeBron doesn't love playing with Dwight.
He does, Skip. But Skip, here's the thing. What playing LeBron at the 5 does, it opens up the court. It gives them more space to operate.
All they got. It's almost like addition by subtraction. You're just subtracting down to say, well, I guess we should go small because that'll get our 5 best players on the court, right?
Right.
LeBron is 6 feet 9 inches tall, and he looks like right now he's about 270.
Now, don't do that, Skip. Now, you see, he just sculpted. He just sculpted, like just Scope.
6'9", 270. Guess who that is? 270. Guess who that is? That's Karl Malone. All over. He's Karl Malone. Karl Malone, by the way, is the second highest scorer in the history of the league. Am I right?
For another 30 games.
Okay, for a little while. But I know Karl Malone. I watched him. I tried to get the Dallas Mavericks to draft him, and they said, no, we're going to do this. I think it was Detlef Schrempf they went for. Okay, whatever. But the point was, Karl Malone was just a moose who could run.
Yes.
And when he got out on the break with John Stockton, he was a freight train coming downhill.
Imagine if Karl Malone could handle the ball like LeBron, shoot the three like LeBron. Imagine that. So that's what you got. You got Magic Johnson, Karl Malone, and Akeem Olajuwon all.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Karl Malone can do one thing LeBron can't even dream of doing, and that's shoot mid-range jump shots with touch and arc and sweet consistency.
Skip, you see that 1 foot step back? How many times he got to hit it on you?
It comes and it goes.
No, it's mainly come.
Yeah.
It's mainly here.
Yeah.
And right now, and for the last month and a half, Skip, 2 months, it's here to stay.
Okay, so he gets away with it against Memphis. Again, they down by 29 late in the third quarter, but he gets away with it because Steven Adams, the day before, goes in COVID protocol.
Okay.
And so Steven Adams is 7 feet tall. LeBron can't deal with him. What's
he can't deal with us. What? Okay, you do realize, Skip, if I got to guard you, who got to guard me? You want Steven Adams out there dealing with LeBron, so we going to blow, because we going to go by him like 40 going north.
By the way, LeBron James now ranks in defensive win shares 196.
What about offensive win shares?
196. I don't care. We're talking about trying to defend the post.
Okay.
The Lakers have plummeted to 16th overall in defensive efficiency. That's terrible, and it starts with the 5. They don't protect the rim. LeBron doesn't protect the rim the way
Skip, he's not a traditional 5. Where a guy that like an Olajuwon or Kareem or guys Patrick Ewing or David Robinson. No, Skip, there are really, if you really look at it, Skip, everything is a stretch now. Really, basketball is positionless. You just put your 5 best players on the floor. Hopefully you got one of them that's 6'10", 6'11", that can shoot the ball. But for the most part, everybody's just out there on the court, moving around and just trying to get ISO and try to shoot the 3. Okay, LeBron can do that. No, they don't have rim protection. And that's the problem what they have defensively, because they don't have guys that can stay in front of guys. And then once the guy gets to the rim, there's little to no resistance. And if you do meet some resistance, you just kick the ball to the 3 and guys are getting wide open shots. But that's not to diminish what GOAT James is doing. And I want you to say it right here on national television.
It is irrelevant.
No, it's not. It's very relevant.
I just said it on national television.
No.
Irrelevant.
It's very relevant.
Insignificant.
Skip, why you can't admit it's impressive
it's like
what you see?
It has come to this. We got to start LeBron at the 5 because we got to get our guys.
Well, how many guys can you do that with? In the history of the game.
They're so good that they're 21-20 with LeBron.
No, I didn't say they were good, but that's a whole different argument.
Okay.
We're talking about the impressive scale, the impressive meter of what you're witnessing. Do you realize what you witnessed? Skip, I saw something in 1986. I don't believe I'm going to be around to see it again. I saw Haley's Comet. I saw it every 77 and 1/3 year it comes around. That was in 1986. I witnessed it with my own eyes. My science teacher in 6th grade said, Shannon is coming. Mr. Prentice Burkhalter, rest your soul, Mr. Burkhalter. I saw it.
Really?
That's Haley's Comet. That's Haley's Comet.
I just saw a movie called Don't Look Up about a comet hitting Earth, and so I don't want to see it. I'm not going to look up.
Skip, I don't know about that. That's Haley's Comet.
Yeah.
You might not see it again.
Look up.
Do you remember what you was doing in 1986?
Yep, I do.
Okay. You're not going to see that ever again, Skip.
No mercy. The Cowboys offense got on track this past weekend, but special teams is still an issue as Greg Zuerlein has missed numerous kicks this year. Cowboys special teams coordinator John Fossil acknowledged that confidence is the biggest hurdle left for Zuerlein, while Jerry Jones admitted the missed field goals have altered the offensive play calling. Jerry continued to say, quote, if a better alternative would be out there, we would be using it. Everything is at stake. So, Shannon, how much trouble do you believe the Cowboys are in with their kicker right now?
Well, it's a big problem, Skip, because he's missed 6 PATs. Skip, 6 field goals, that's still a lot. Sure. But anybody outside of Justin Tucker, Skip, I'm expecting him to miss 3 or 4 during the course of the year. It's when he misses that's a rarity. But the PATs, because you miss too many in a game, Skip, now you find yourself chasing points. Now all of a sudden you're starting to have to chase those points by going for 2. And Jerry said it causes us to change the way. Now all of a sudden, Skip, we got to go for on 4th down that we maybe probably should take the field goal or maybe just punt the ball away. But I don't have confidence that he can make the kick. And now I'm going to give them a short field coming back the other way. This is a confident position. It's not about how strong your leg is. It's not about it's all in between the ears. This is the most in between the ear position, even more so than quarterback, Skip, because you know when it goes this way in a hurry for a kicker, it's Katie bar the door.
It's over.
Katie bar the door.
Okay, now, Mr. Sharpe, you've got me up against the wall because not only do I have to hope that my team can overcome my owner GM and my head coach, drop the Mike McCarthy, but now my team has to overcome a kicker who is going sideways and south.
Yes.
And to your point, it's just like the golf swing. And we've seen golfers just lose it like David Duval or Ian Baker Finch, and they're just gone.
Yeah.
They lose it and you can't get it back.
Nope.
And yet golf, you have to swing the golf club. You're putting half the time, but 30 or 40 times around, you got to swing the golf club. This is coming down to one swing of the leg.
Right.
And if you're not right, I'm wrong.
Right.
And in the end, my owner dared to acknowledge this publicly. You cannot do it. I don't care. Jerry cannot put a sock in it. He can't help himself. He just has to talk and talk because he has to show everybody how smart he is about football. Right. Hey, you got me on this one because we have to change our play calling for our kick. If you acknowledge that, your kicker is done.
He heard it.
He heard it because he's going to say, "Oh my God, even my owner's down
have
on me."
confidence in me.
Oh, great! And so. It started off if we'd see the 43-yard miss against Arizona. Remember, that's in the first quarter, but it became a 25-22 game. If you make this kick, I don't know, maybe it winds up 25-all. Who knows what happens the rest of the way? That was in the first quarter. But the point is, now it's down to nitty-gritty kicking. It will come. Almost all these games come down to some kick somewhere.
In the playoffs.
And as you always say, there's nothing that can take the life out of an offense like going down and scoring a big touchdown, and he goes out there and misses the kick. And instead of being 7-0, it feels like 6-0. What do we just do?
Exactly.
It like sticks a pin in it, right?
What's his nickname? Greg the Leg. Which means he has distance.
He's got a huge leg.
But now he's Greg the Inaccurate. Because you can't skip 6 PATs.
You can't do it. You can't get away with it. And you, as an owner, you can't say it publicly because once you let it go out there, it goes straight through his ears, into his head, into his psyche.
Right.
And once he's starting to double think twice about it and try to outthink, well, maybe I should do it. Maybe I should.
Maybe I should start it this way and start it.
Maybe I should. Oh, you overcompensate. Oh, then you're hooking, you're slicing. Well, what are you doing? I don't know what he's doing.
You just got to go kick.
Yeah, and he's got a huge leg. And remember, Brett the Fret Maher was my last guy. And after a while, they just said, okay, that's enough.
Right.
Because he missed more field goals than anybody. So now we're back to Brett the Fret. Greg the Leg.
But what happens, Skip? You score a touchdown, you need the PAT to tie it, and your guy shanks the PAT. Now you talk about gut wrenching and heartbreaking.
And by the way, you know how much I hate field goal kicking to start with, and now I'm stuck with this. So
now
we have to avoid it.
Yeah,
you can't.
No kicking. You
got to kick the PAT.
No, we don't.
Would you go for two every
time? Let's go for two.
I know. It's going to keep you up at night.
For two every time.
No mercy. The Lakers are 4-point favorites against the Kings tonight, according to Fox Bet Sportsbook. And LeBron will be looking to help the purple and gold get back on track after their 4-game winning streak was snapped this past Sunday. So, Shannon, what's LeBron's line tonight? What do you got?
Feel a monster.
Do you?
Man, 30-point triple-double.
Really?
She coming back.
That's like business as usual.
She had a quarantine.
Really?
Yeah, she was in quarantine for a couple of weeks. And, she tested positive, but she got 2 negative tests.
She'll be in the building. Living with LeBron.
No, she back. 30. The last 2 times he played, 31 and 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, all we need is a few guys to make some shots. 30, 10, 12.
Okay. I agree with your projection, but I will take the Kings +4 right now for one case.
No plus. No plus nothing.
What are you talking about?
No.
The Kings have lost 5 straight and 6 of 7.
This is not an invite. This is not Skip +1.
Huh?
You take them as it is.
Oh, come on. These
Straight
are
up.
The Kings versus
Straight
the
up.
King. Straight. There is no
if you're
way
scared, just say you're scared. You got Hazel.
I'm scared of a team that lost 6 out of 7 games.
And hold on. You just talked about how Russell Westbrook and LeBron over the prime and yada, yada, yada.
You just told me it's 10 out of 10 that he's playing the 5. Okay? You got him at the 5. You got a triple-double. You just projected it. You predicted it.
Triple-double.
Take it.
Hey, Russ got like 200 triple-doubles. How they turn out for the win column?
Some guts.
You want it right
Have a lot
now?
of moves.
I give you 2 points.
No, you
I'm
and
just
LeBron
glad
have
2
no
points.
this trip dub is okay.
2 points. You scared? If you scared, just say you scared. I'm
Doing
scared.
it?
No.
4.
No.
I'm taking these
That's all we
the Fox
got.
bet
We'll talk
spread.
about the game tomorrow. The Herd is
No.
up now. Have a good one.